spicy nuts.
Ooh, yeah. Nothing a couple of gay women like more than some spicy nuts.
I think if everybody is also physically, if not emotionally prepared, we'll begin. When last we met, which was like a whole year ago, nobody knows what the lizard folk of the Bloodroot tribe are up to. That is the big focus. What is up with these lizard folk and their weapon buying ways? You found proof that they'd been buying a large amount of weapons from the smuggling ring that was also a slaving ring that was operating out of your recently acquired, not exactly haunted, but it's complicated house. That's what I'm calling it now. Not exactly haunted, but it's complicated house.
That's great.
The town guard has observed an increase in the lizard folk movements to the north of Saltmarsh as well. And that's been concerning because the Bloodroot tribe usually has been sticking to the swamp, so the town wasn't bothered. But now that they've heard about this weapon buying from smugglers / pirates / slavers, they're concerned that the lizard folk may be planning to invade Saltmarsh. So you, gentle adventurers of the Lying Codpiece, aka Team Dry Hugs, aka Complete Disaster Piece. I think the name is still under discussion for your group.
Did we come up with somewhere? Yeah, never mind. I don't remember.
I don't know what you came up with.
No.
There was talk of, I think didn't Thulgrin refer to you as the Lying Codpieces or something?
Just in Twitter chat.
And you talked about being a disaster piece something. And just in the gameplay, there was this strong dry hug movement going on. Because you were fed up with Oceanus and his moist hugs.
Oh god, I forgot about that, the moist hugs.
So you attended the town council meeting where this was discussed. Not the whole Team Dry Hug thing, but the lizard folk was discussed at the town council meeting. And with an almost American sense of entitlement, they proclaimed that you would travel north and investigate the Bloodroot tribe. It's like you weren't really even consulted. It was just like this assumption that you would go and represent the town council of Saltmarsh. And if the lizard folk are not, in fact, bloodthirsty and warmongering, you're meant to establish diplomatic ties. So obviously it was a town council person who doesn't know you who thought this was a good idea.
Yes. Send us on a stealth and diplomacy mission. Two things.
Yeah, the 4 people who can just about lie themselves out of trouble, and that's about it.
Well, I guess that's the good news, because whatever happens, you can just lie your way out of it. I don't know.
Well, potentially.
So the town council meeting also discussed the seat open in the wake of Gellin Primewater's death. Nominations were open for elections to be held on the 19th of Ron. It is now the 2nd of Ron. So it's a little bit more than a fortnight hence.
How can we campaign for election if we're not here?
Well, that is interesting. But, it's not a foregone conclusion that you're going to be absent for a full fortnight. It's just a thought out there that that's when it happens. So it might happen while you're gone. It might not. I don't know how long it's going to take you guys. And I got this feeling that for some people who are nominated, that they really didn't want to be nominated, so they don't care if they're not here.
Aye.
So who knows how that will work out. Only property owners in Saltmarsh are eligible to run for office, which I think we talked about the session before last in some of your CSI Saltmarsh activities. Or maybe that was last session. Maybe CSI Saltmarsh was last session.
Except for the awkward part that the person that doesn't really exist somehow doesn't own property and yet got on the ballot.
I think, it's just assumed he owns property. That could be a big scandal, though.
Of course he's got property.
Yeah, he's Esteban Ergal. Of course he must own something. He must. So,
Awkward.
but somehow both Esteban Urkel and Kymir have been nominated on the ballot. And with that in mind, everybody do a charisma check.
In the tower or just...
You can do it out in the open. I mean, you can do it in the tower if you really don't want to know.
Oh, I'm on brand.
Oh, Kerithlana.
Yeah. I use some good rolls in the other system. Shh. Don't tell anyone.
I rolled a ton of ones in the superhero session on Tuesday, so I should be very fearsome.
Oh my
Oh my.
god. Yeah, tell me how she managed to roll a 4.
I rolled nothing but ones one time. I rolled like 2 ones and a 2 one time. So this break is me writing down things because I need to write down some things.
Not with pencil, I hope.
I am writing it down with pencil because y'all are in for it.
Uh-oh.
Is it yellow?
It's a black pencil of doom.
Okay, it's the yellow pencil that hates us. I'm sure it's all going to be fine. Absolutely
It's good.
fine.
My dice are
Nothing
not the bad yellow color though. The yellow dice are what really sets you up for destruction. Okay. Yeah, there's going to be some charisma checking happening, and that's going to be somewhat related to how the election progression happens in your absence.
Oh. See, you should have told me we wanted to roll low.
Oh yeah, where
At
was I?
least-
So there's
least
that
Than I am.
to leave a sick feeling in everybody's stomach. And except for Kerithlana, who feels safe, I guess.
Well, power's usually given to those who least want it. So, yeah, why not?
So in the course of your CSI Saltmarsh investigations into Primewater's death, you found that 2 of the few residents of the Stiiv who own property, the smuggler known as Crawford and the gnome A.D. Bloomwiffler, have been murdered. And Steve's sort of dad, but it's complicated, Potter Amoria, is missing. So the party concluded this may not be a coincidence.
Crawford's been murdered.
Oh yeah, Crawford's been murdered. And Tito's very sad about it.
Boyfriend's very upset.
Yes. And when the party ran into Tito and kind of talked about situations and saw how distraught Tito was, they extended an invitation to him to hang out at your house. So he might be there when you come back. Yeah, you thought he needed some consolation because his partner Crawford was strangled so hard it left bloodstains.
Bloodstains
around the-
where?
On the cobbles.
Right around the corner from Barry the tomato vendor, who we totally didn't break psychically.
There's a huge amount of drama as the party stalked Barry the tomato vendor, only to realize how greatly your actions have left Barry a sniveling, broken mess.
Aww.
He grew his tomatoes with his soul, man.
Yes, so...
So there's evil undead tomatoes wandering around as well.
Yeah, so some of you guys can elect to add, I need to fix the damage I did to Barry to your character ideals.
I told the guys back at the mansion to try and buy stuff from him to make him feel better.
And as I understand it, Esteban Urkel is leaving Barry the tomato vendor in charge of his campaign, his council campaign.
I didn't have... Maybe.
Yeah, you said something to that effect last session, that's what you're going to do. You're going to give him purpose. You're going to put him in charge of Esteban Urkel's election campaign.
That sounds like the sort of thing we'd say, to be fair.
It does, and now that she's mentioned it, I think I recall doing that with the express intention of him failing.
Yes,
Because he
that
took a
was
tomato
the
that day.
subtext I got from your statement.
So break him a bit more then, yeah?
So I'm going to
Basically,
do
yeah.
a charisma check for Barry. Oh, Barry has more charisma than I thought. All right. And did you see that?
No.
Maybe on the playback? Okay. Well, then that will be secret.
Awkward.
So you don't know how good of a job Barry is doing.
Esteban's going to get back and he's going to be in charge of the whole town.
So you managed to ditch your most unwanted moist acquaintance, Oceanus, because the sea elf that you rescued off of this smuggler vessel made fast friends with Ida Oland, one of the town councilors, and now he's staying at her house.
Do I work? I used Mage Hand to give him a wet willy in the middle
You
of the
did.
council
You gave
meeting?
him like a wedgie in the council meeting with your mage hand.
Nice.
That did happen. So yeah, it's the 2nd of Ron. The party has made their preparations. I'm assuming whatever you got that you wanted to get. I heard talk of a lot of rations.
Yep.
Yeah, you get back and Saltmarsh will have been renamed Urkelville. That'd be pretty awesome, actually.
Awkward.
Awkward.
See, I'm just waiting. It's like this parent trap kind of thing. That it gets more and more insane, and then eventually there's going to be the reveal that Esteban doesn't exist, and it will all come crashing
Maybe a
down.
power vacuum. Be a power vacuum in Saltmarsh, and then people who like to take advantage of power vacuums will come in and then take over or something.
And it will totally not be entirely Esteban's fault.
So, that's pretty much the summing up. I can't remember if there was anything else important. But you're setting out on your trek to the Basura Swamp with a map upon which Oceanus has crudely scribbled directions to the Bloodfoot's tribe's outpost. And I'm going to reshare that map. The
Basura Swamp?
Basura Swamp. Did I say it was something else?
No, I'm just remembering old school Spanish. Isn't Basura garbage?
Hey! One lizard folk's garbage is another lizard folk's treasure. But yeah, I think it is.
Home
Google
is
Translate.
Oceanus's home.
Yeah, that is Manon. Yeah, because this is, you know how Oceanus is. He's like, here's a map. Let me show you where my home is so you can come visit, and because I know you care about me so much. Let me give you this information that isn't actually important.
My God, what did you do to him?
I could have quite happily punched him.
And then he put another blob. Another blob where in the swamp, the lizard folk outpost mound, he believes it to be. Yeah, you see some other relative things. So there's 2 ways you can go, and way we left is you guys haven't really decided, or you'll tell me whether you want to go waterway or through the swamp, the long way through the swamp. I say long way, but what I mean is how much swampiness do you want to swamp?
Well, I think would be faster and possibly safer to go oceanside, but we have less. I mean, maybe if we land not in their scribble, but like near their scribble, so we can kind of swamp a little bit and try and sneak in, because it's going to be a method-powered boat. Just kind of
Swamp a little boat a lot. It will take you far less time to do the method-powered boat to sail that around the landmass.
Like maybe we the arrow is pointing and then swamp the rest of the way.
Sure you can.
Yeah.
There's also the town council has said you can take a few guards with you if you want them to like protect your boat.
But then, how much room can we fit in our boat? How many people can we fit?
Your boat fits 8 people easy as long as you don't have any large gear that you're also bringing in the boat. So like
No cannons.
if you're yeah, like the cannon I think won't fit because the cannon is
Aw.
like 2 elks.
But all right.
And you can handle 1 elk maximum, I think is how my campaign science has been determined.
Unless it's an elk backpack.
You can fit a maximum of 7 adventurers and 1 elk on a boat.
Honestly, I hadn't even thought about the cannon.
I
No,
thought
the
about the
cannon-
cannon beforehand. I did because I was like suspicious that you guys would bring the cannon everywhere. It's still
No,
parked
no.
outside of your house.
Oh yeah, but that's not going back to Anders unless he asks for it now.
Well, I'm just saying.
It's like-
The
The cannon is a power tool. It's like a saw.
it's like it doesn't look good to roll up to diplomatic negotiating like Normandy.
Probably not.
With
no.
a cannon in your boat. For all I know, it could be your like gift. You'd be like, "Hey, dudes,
Oh yeah, the guys that were worried about getting armed up. Let's
heard
give them
you're
power
looking for
guns.
weapons. Let's make friends. Here, have a cannon."
That's one way of getting their attention.
I don't know. I shouldn't put ideas in your head.
Well, we don't have to actually arm the cannon. I mean, we could just give them, the cannon if we don't give them any black powder shot.
There is the other thing. This is a method-powered jolly boat that you have, and I don't know if you've forgotten, but that means that it is not bound to the sea. There is a little bit of lift that your jolly boat can attain.
I mean, we can have a flying boat.
Yes, but it's like less sustainable. Like the boat can depending on how high and how much it's carrying, that kind of, determines how much power you're using and how fast the methods get tired and need a nap.
We all like stood around looking at this map, trying to decide how we're going to get to the lizard. In theory,
Yeah.
in that case, Kymir's just seen Hall of a Thousand Mirrors and he's completely distracted and wants to go the other way.
Abandoned mission. Let's go to the Hall of a Thousand
I just-
Mirrors.
That sounds way more interesting.
Wait, did I put your monastery on there? I didn't, but it's there somewhere. It's in the Inworld Mountains somewhere.
It is.
Like I'll say
I don't know, what do you reckon?
west of Whitecliff is where your monastery is.
Do we want to take a couple of guards then to just leave with the ship with the boat?
I think we should take 1 or 2 guards to park the boat, or with no intention of bringing them into, just they can stand on the boat. If
Or you could
Go for
take
it.
or Rocky. Rocky's available. You could leave Rocky at home doing work on the house, or you could bring Rocky with you.
Oh no, Rocky and Perkins. We have our housekeepers. They
Keep
have to
them safe
the
at
house.
home.
Yeah.
So if you ask for people to come with, who will guard your boat, the town will send along your old friend Constable Judy
Okay.
and some schmuck named Constable Green, who you've just seen standing guard here and there, but you haven't had any interactions with previously. But you know Judy from that was the constable who was with you when you were examining Galen Primewater's house for clues. And she's like inexperienced but enthusiastic, and she's like, okay, you guys. She trusts. I mean, she's pretty amiable to whatever you guys think is a good idea. What is this berry entry? Is this in your note?
Yes, in the notes.
Dramatis personae.
Skip straight to the bottom. The rather encyclopedic entry.
Oh, this is very long. That's excellent. That is excellent. So, what I've gotten from the conversation so far is you are going to take your jolly boat, you're going to sail through the water, land fairly close to where the blob is on your map, and leave the guards to guard your boat, just in case you need it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you bringing any large things on your boat that they need to guard in addition to the boat?
No, all of my large things are conveniently located within a bag of holding.
Oh, that's right, because you got a bag of holding off the skeleton alchemist, the dead alchemist dude.
Mm-hmm. Including a set of plate armor, which, wait, did we already address that, Kerithlana? Can't you wear heavy?
No, I can, but I'm not physically strong enough. So
Oh, that's what it was, because it requires strength 15. That's right.
Yep.
She's elfy. She's too elfy for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's elfy, not
Now,
healthy.
I left it at short notice, but at this point, are there any other special requests you had for Anders, for thingamabobs you thought would help you with your quest?
Well, if we're going on like a diplomatic trading mission I'm not sure it is a trading mission, but do we want to take gifts to the lizard folk?
You
Rather
certainly
than just
could
turning
bring
up,
something gifty that you think might work as a if you have to make a diplomatic presentation to Queen Othokent, and you do know that the name of the leader is Queen Othokent, if not from what people have told you, but from the letter you found left behind when Jaws Des left. It was basically a summon from Queen Othokent. Othokent.
That is also in the Dramatis Personae.
Yeah, I will update it to Queen though.
So yeah, what do you have in mind for a diplomatic presentation?
Large selection of eggs.
Goblin. He was shouting. No explanation of who the goblin is, just shouty goblin. Okay.
Shouty goblin. I don't think I ever said tasty friend or anything. I didn't give that away.
I don't know. What do lizard folk like?
I mean, you could totally get eggs. You could even like bring eggs from your very own chickens. Did you name your
Should
chickens?
we bring them chickens?
I haven't. No.
I think they're officially named Chicken 1 and Chicken 2.
Bert and Ernie.
Bert and Ernie?
We're not going to get many eggs out of Ernie.
Well,
Deep cut!
I just like, Bert and Ernie.
That's a good question. Are our chickens male or female?
Does somebody want to roll about like? Okay, so who
I
got the
think
chickens?
Since it was
It was Kymir or
Kymir's idea.
or Shaefira.
No, I bought them. I really wanted the eggs and the chickens.
Okay, so Kymir, roll an insight. Let's see if you were smart enough about chickens to buy chickens that will produce eggs.
Or
So
animal
now,
handling.
it's unlikely.
Animal handling is also acceptable if that does better for you.
No, not really.
12 is fine. Yeah, I mean 12 indicates that you at least asked. If you didn't know how to sex a chicken, you at least had the presence of mind to ask. You know, to say, "Hey, I'm looking to get eggs. I don't just want these chickens as fancy pieces, as ornamental chickens. I want chickens who can put out the goods. So even though you've named them Bert and Ernie, they are of appropriate chickenness to produce eggs.
It's short for Bertruda and Ernelda.
There we go.
Bertruda, I like that. Ernestina.
Ooh, Ernestina. I like that one better.
Furiously making notes.
So you're gonna have a weird pop-up NPC out we called Bertrude.
Bert and Ernie for short.
Yeah.
I can just like label your chickens if we ever get back home and you have chickens in your yard or something. Because pointless details for fun.
Sure.
So are you bringing any other ideas, or you're just going to bring a bunch of your grade AA eggs?
Well,
I
that's what I'm
can't
saying.
think of what else.
Maybe we should get 2 more chickens, and then we can bring them a potentially infinite supply of eggs.
I don't know. Do they eat chicken eggs or do they? Well, I'm going to say.
Well, you
eating
know
lizard
that
eggs,
Jaws
sounds
Des
cannibalistic.
liked eggs.
We never really worked out what kind.
But
of
that's
egg.
like a one data point.
But, one could argue that 100% of lizard folk polled like eggs.
True.
Yeah, this is where it turns out that he really likes eggs because they're anathema to the rest of the lizard folk race.
Yes.
He's a
And we
rebel.
turn up with the eggs and they hit us. I mean, we don't want to take them weapons because we're worried about 'em. Well, the town's worried about them getting weapons. So, what did you say, Rich?
I've got a jar of jam and a small gold bracelet.
This is true.
I'm sure we could do something with that.
I have
bracelet
6
with
golden
jam.
ribs.
There is that thing that you have the golden ribs. That's right. That you looted out of the alchemist doodads. And I think Shaefira, because you have a mark of hospitality, your dragon mark now,
Oh, yeah.
you can make your own fancy jam.
I can, yes.
I
Egg
can't.
jam?
Yeah, Shaefira's scrumptious jam or something like that.
Splendiferous.
Splendiferous jam. Okay.
Mm.
And that jam is like tasty bacon in its power, but
Yeah.
it's jam.
So I could make some of that for them.
I have a crowbar.
And you can
there we
always
go.
give them a lot of toast.
Yeah.
Yeah, toast with jam. Can't go wrong.
Very food-based diplomacy.
This is me rich down over tea, and
Mhm.
Okay, well,
What's wrong with nothing
Never
wrong with
mind these
food-based diplomacy.
okay. So, and anything else you can just improvise with anything else you have on you, if needs happen.
we can craft something from the trees. in the
True.
swamp.
They're found objects.
I would like to point out that apparently last session I officially moved my very fluffy pillow and silk damask pillowcases to the not haunted, it's complicated house. They're not coming
Yes.
with me.
Okay. So, and they are in the new location. They are no longer in your hovel. That makes it real, man.
It does. It's not home until you have a pillow.
Ooh.
So after the town council meeting, you scurried around. You did this gathering of stuff. The night passed. You scurried around some more. Got all like so many food rations together. Bunch of eggs. How are you carrying the eggs?
Carefully.
In a basket in the bag of holding where they will be perfect.
Okay,
Yes.
and a basket in your bag of holding. Okay.
How many eggs do we have?
As many as you need. Whatever Bert and Ernie didn't produce, you could always pick up from the market because Monday is a big market day. I'm saying Monday, even though Eberron has its own calendar of days, because that's just too much for me to remember. I draw the line at months. It's totes Monday.
Sumozo we zo fa sa. There you go.
It's Mo. It's Mo Day.
It is actually Monday.
It's Monday. I think they're different names, but they have similar abbreviations to things that are cozy and familiar.
Yeah, they all end in R. Thanks to the new quest, we learned the days of the week. Indeed.
Really?
Um,
I've not played
if
it,
there's
so
the laboratory assistant is in one of 7 different places on the map, depending upon which day of the week it is, randomly assigned whenever you join the instance. And I only noticed this because when you first enter the laboratory, there's a sign with the daily special from the kitchen. That's
Spoilers?
or it might just save me from like being lost for an hour in the quest before I figure out what's going on.
yeah, you end up going pretty much everywhere anyway if you want to get all the lab notes.
Because that's pretty much how it works the first time I do any quest. I'm like, where is everything?
I must memorize every pixel.
Waste time, waste time, waste time.
I don't just sniff the flowers, I snort them like cocaine.
So we're on the 2nd of Ran, yeah?
You're on the 2nd of Ron.
Alright, so that's when we're leaving.
So you putter up the coast. You've got your boat is mainly filled with people. All of your gear isn't taking up an exceptional amount of space, so there's actually extra room in the boat where you could have accommodated 2 more people. So the methods, how many methods are you using?
Well, if I remember the method you said on that before, it was between 0 and 4, and 2 was the even point where you could basically have 2 methods on, 2 methods off, and
Right,
keep it sustainable.
right.
So I
And
guess 2.
there's like a speed trade-off, but like you could hover with your hover jolly boat across the water. That's the sound that mephits make. Across the water. This isn't a stealth boat, by the way. Across the water with your 2 mephits without having any pause in the speed, because there's always 2 rested mephits ready to go.
Oh, and then that's also why we wanted to method most of the way, so we could then swamp a little bit and scout and not show up on their shore like Normandy.
I'm adjusting the combat tracker to remove Chef Perkins and Rocky since they are at home.
Anything else concerned she's on about the combat tracker already?
But Constable Green and Constable Judy are with you as neutral friends. So you puff 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 up the coast. Very well, everybody roll perceptions.
Oh dear. Yep, Kerithlana's making a run for the
Yeah, Kerithlana, at one point you see a school of dolphins.
Oh,
Ooh.
we need to get it drunk.
You do notice that around the school of dolphins, there's a lot of litter in the ocean, a lot of bottles. And all the bottles have Uzo written on them.
Okay.
Hang on, I've got a really strong vibe of a different campaign here.
Yeah, just a small one. Those dolphins are assholes. Let's not get those drunk.
Yeah, and Kerithlana knows that these are the kind of dolphins that drink, and they're usually really bad tempered.
They will not hesitate to flipper slap the crap out of you.
Yeah. Yeah, the smile is to hide their inner pain. That smile that dolphins usually have.
Awesome Easter egg.
But I'm a little sad because it's actually sheet as one of my ideals is to get a dolphin drunk.
Well,
But no.
Kerithlana spots them, and knowing that you guys have a task, priorities are already in place. At least explains to the rest of you that it's probably not a good idea to engage the dolphins.
One might even say it's a rival school.
Ugh.
Maybe on the way home, if people want to go swim with the dolphins, they can. But yeah, it's probably not a good idea just setting out on the adventure. It could be distracting. You continue up the coast. You've made a good clip. Going along the coast in your jolly boat, it's faster than it would have been over land. Faster than it would have been using an ordinary, mundane little vessel. Was there a question?
There is a question, but it's saying I did a drunk dolphin.
Was it a Discord?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know why that came up for drunk dolphin.
I'm so disturbed now. So yeah, distracting dolphins.
There. I'm going to remove that now.
Oh, thank God for that.
So as you've been kind of following along the coastline, you've seen a lot of sandy beaches to the port side, i.e. your left.
Okay.
But as you travel further and further north, rather than a sandy kind of rocky coastline that you are accustomed to farther south, like where you're not so haunted, it's complicated houses. The coastline starts to become more sea level. It's not rocky. It seems to be kind of this inlet waterway. You see marsh and kind of grasslands.
So it's more squishy and not like a hard coast.
Squishy, it's like a gradual, rather than being like a strict land, not land barrier, it's a more graduated land entry. You see a lot of seagulls flying overhead.
Is anything shooting at the seagulls?
There's nothing
Like
shooting at the
arrows.
seagulls.
Okay.
They're free to fly, living their best winged life. Maybe there's an albatross or two. Don't recommend killing them and eating them.
But what flavour are they?
They're fricassee
Really?
flavored.
I was really that would be one else is shooting them.
So it reaches this point where you kind of either have to slow the boat down or you can continue hovering, flying over land. But if you want to get closer to the blob on the map, there's going to be we call cat of nine tails, not cat of nine tails, but like cat grass, lily pads, and just various marshy grasses and stuff. Will start kind of intersecting the murky water. It's gotten a bit shallow.
Whereabouts are we on the map?
I'll say you are definitely at the point where the arrow point was.
Okay, so can we find a semi, mostly unsmushy little plot that we can kind of shore up the boat on and park?
Yes.
Wow.
Should have think about it for a second. Okay, perhaps we should
Travel on land from here.
and then kind of go in
Yeah,
on foot.
because then on the assumption that the lizard folk have guards, we're not surprising them. We're giving them the option to, or the opportunity to see us come in. So
Right. Well, it's like the second reboot Star Trek movie. You don't come in with the you mingle with the new people. You leave the Enterprise behind and then walk in. That kind of thing.
So when you introduce the Enterprise,
Then
everybody gets really excited.
then when we accidentally blow up their entire civilization, we can run back to the Enterprise.
Yeah. Oh, it's like you're leaving your boat parked under the water
Well, not literally,
with
but
Scotty like manning the engines.
yeah, not in this case, Constable Green and Constable Judy manning the boat.
Okay. So they're like with the boat. You leave them. There's like this little island. It's got a lot of rocks on it, some trees, and as you leave behind your jolly boat with the constables, you see them starting to set up a tent. They're expecting to have to camp out at least overnight.
And then we'll
And I'm going to take them off of the combat tracker.
head in on smushy feet.
Do another perception check.
I perceive that my tail is getting wet.
I don't even notice that your tail is getting wet.
In fact, Steve, you managed to splash water on Kymir's tail.
Dude,
Sorry.
worrying that Kymir is the most perceptive of the group.
I'm still looking at the albatrosses. Sorry.
Kymir, you hear a lot. You notice that the swamp has a lot of croaking sounds. Sounds that you aren't really used to. You haven't had a lot of experience with swamps. But it stands out to you as like a foreign kind of sound. Kind of like a ribbiting.
Well, that's good. It's when they stop riveting we have to worry.
That makes sense.
Or at least that's what I'm told.
So you leave behind the constables. The swamp is made up of, it's basically a shallow, very muddy water scattered with lily pads. I mentioned the grasses beforehand. There are little patches of land, little teeny kind of islands. Some of them are a little bit grassy, mossy, but they're also muddy as well. So it's a very wet place, which you would expect with a swamp, right? Well, maybe not Kymir, because this is his first swamp. But for people who have been in swamps before, it's swampy. There's also rocks, like a chain of different rocks kind of in different places. So if you really, really had an issue about getting your stuff wet, you could probably just jump between the rocks. It might take a little extra effort.
Do we see any signs of lizardy stuff?
Do a perception check.
All of us.
Whoever is actually looking for lizardy stuff.
Whoa.
So,
I found my albatross.
Kymir, you don't notice any lizardy stuff. All right. Kymir and Kerithlana, you both notice there's ribbiting. You hear some splashes here and there in the water, and sometimes you see like movement underneath the water. Like in some places there might be some swampy creatures living in the mud, so you can
Giant
choose to
leeches.
avoid them. And Kerithlana, at one point you notice out of the corner of your eye a little imp flying at a distance, peering around a rock
Do we recognize this
at the
imp?
party.
Is it the same imp
Just
or a
Kerithlana.
different imp?
You cannot tell it apart from. It looks like imps you've seen before.
That was something we missed in the thing. I spoke to the imp in the council meeting.
You did you spotted the imp at the council meeting and talked to the imp in Infernal, and the imp was like, "Oh shit," because he's supposed to be really sneaky, but he keeps forgetting that he's supposed to be sneaky and stops being invisible.
And he belongs to the wizard who lives in the tower, yeah?
Yes, he belongs to that wizard whose name you don't say.
Right.
Because if you say his name 3 times, the rumor is that he can spy on you.
Yeah, Kelladek the Unspoken.
Guys!
That's him.
Yeah, and you did say his name 3 times at the council meeting.
So we can't tell if it's Kelladek's imp or,
Yeah, but there is
just another imp.
Well, at this moment, Kerithlana has noticed that there's an imp watching you from the distance, kind
Yeah,
of
I mean,
peeking behind a
She
rock.
tells us or not.
So how are you guys traveling? Are you guys just trudging through the water, or are you trying to jump between rocks to keep dry?
No, I think at this point I've decided that there's no point. So I'll just keep
You know,
tripping.
Steve's just waiting. He's used to being deep in
Being
the
wet
wall.
and dirty?
Yeah.
Shaefira's trying to stay on the rocks because, she's
Because
only tiny. She
even
might
though
sink.
it's not very deep water, for Shaefira, it would be above your waist.
Mm.
Probably up to your shoulders. So Shaefira, do an acrobatics or athletics check to see if you stay on the rocks.
Oh, good lord.
That's good enough. That's
Oh.
that's the minimum what you needed.
Excellent.
Yeah, you may wobble here and there, but you've managed to
I do that anyway.
stick on the
That's the
rocks.
brandy.
Yeah.
Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
Your general swaying movement as you kind of slant between rocks.
Yeah.
So, Kerithlana, what do you make of this imp that you have spotted?
I will keep a metaphorical eye on it.
Okay.
Because if it's the same imp, then it's going to have been watching us anyway. If it's an imp that Arthur Kent is using, then she'll be aware of our approach. So could send somebody out. So if it disappears, then we can expect more trouble. But as long as it stays where it is, then I think we're okay.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense. You're keeping your imp options open.
Mm-hmm. And of course, I'll let everybody else in the party know discreetly and stuff, but
I'm
we're not going to stay.
sharing. So you're in the swamp. I'm going to share a swamp map finally. And you have reached a decent-sized little island. There is a kind of dead tree planted on it, kind of like a mound of marshy, bushiness.
Are we supposed to be able to read the name of that?
Oh yeah, you aren't supposed to read the name of that.
Uh-oh.
God.
No,
That's much better.
guys, I've got a bad feeling my spidey sense is tingling.
Oh, I hate it when I do stuff like that.
So we're on there's a little decent-sized island.
A spooky looking dead tree.
Spooky looking dead tree.
And the imp.
It really looks.
There's that imp that that Kerithlana noticed kind of hiding behind a rock.
This tree
Kerithlana's
reminds
the only
me
one who can
of.
see the imp.
Yeah, Kerithlana's the
She's
only
the one
one
who's
who has
spotted him.
noticed the imp. She is keeping an
Even
eye
though she's-
out. She has not vocalized that she's told y'all about it.
She did. She said she
Oh, she's
discreetly party aware.
so there's imp. The imp is peeking,
Oh,
and everybody do another perception check.
Oh my god! I just saw Shaefira in the swamp.
Sorry, my internet's being a bit crap.
I think the internet's being crappy in general
Okay, slightly better.
because Steve had a little disconnect reconnect moment.
I had a hiccup there too, which I'll happily re-roll that perception check. 'cause
Yeah, it didn't
what
come
I
through the
saw-
first time.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
it was
that's-
cracked.
So yeah, I need Kymir and Steve to roll again.
Oh,
Okay.
that's worse.
Ugh, I shouldn't have bothered.
do you need another one from me? Are you
No,
Have you
I got a roll from Shaefira and Kerithlana,
okay?
and unfortunately, you guys don't really notice anything.
Too busy occupied looking at the tree that looks like petrified tentacle.
Yeah, it kind of looks like was it Toby the tentacle, but in tree form.
Toby's friends and family fought a gorgon.
This island has a nice mound on it. It's not it's not shambling. It's a static mound. So that's a bit of a relief.
Are those lily pads?
Yeah, those are little lily pads, little green discs are lily pads.
Okay.
And then the spiky looking stuff?
That's grassy stuff.
Just grass, right? It's not like sharp.
It's
Sharp,
not
sharp,
it's
sharp.
not like razors reaching up from the swampiness
Right.
to devour you or anything.
Okay, just checking. Because,
That was an odd clarification.
Well, no, I mean, I feel like there's like a serious lack of trust here for some reason. And
As if
yeah,
you wouldn't trust a DM.
yeah, and like you guys probably just assumed that I put like, razor traps in the swamp or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean like along that 100-foot hallway with an unlocked door with nothing in it?
Yeah. Why would there be a long hall with an unlocked door? Why would there be a swamp without razor traps?
Surely we won't
It
take
just
30 minutes
stands
to
to
cross
reason. Surely it won't take 30 minutes to cross a hallway.
Steve would like to approach the tree and examine it for potential tentacliness.
Okay, do another perception check.
I was about to say perception or nature, but they're both the same, so it doesn't really matter.
You're like, these are branches.
This is a tree, guys.
You're like, it's tentacles, but wood. That's what branches are. So at this juncture, you haven't really picked up on anything else, but Kymir and Kerithlana, who are both aware of there being quite a cacophony of rivets up till this point as you traveled through the swamp area, suddenly realize that the ribbiting has silenced.
Uh-oh.
I'm readying my weapons. Then.
Kymir's gonna go, is it normal that everything goes so quiet?
Isn't that supposed to be when the bad stuff happens?
Maybe.
Yeah, this guy Kermit told me a long time ago that the absence of riveting.
Your buddy Kermit,
Yeah, he likes tea.
danger is the absence of ribbiting. Is that what he
Oh.
told you?
Yeah.
So suddenly there is one, which if you were goblin it would sound like ha ha.
Tasty friends.
Does anybody speak ribbit?
Uh,
No.
I don't think I have any languages.
I speak Equine and Orc.
That would not be what this was.
Oh.
Fair enough.
But all at once, some bullywugs appear, jumping out from behind rocks. And one of them actually kind of leaps forward out of the static mound. It was hiding under the leaves.
Oh, they look like upside down turtles. Oh no, I see. I see.
But they're little froggy dudes.
I was gonna say they look like a political figure in our country.
Well, I would get on board with that.
Now, because your perception checks, you did notice that the ribbiting stopped. But none of you had a good enough perception check to really determine what direction a threat was coming from. So they're going to get to attack first. But everybody roll initiative.
Oh. What?
I'm on
Oh,
brand.
Oh.
These are almost fair initiative rolls for the level that you guys did have some perception and awareness of stuff happening in the swamp.
I was busy looking at the tree.
Trees are nice, eh?
Well, yeah. Branches are like tentacles, but wood.
Tree pretty fire bad. Sorry, just getting my Buffy moment in
Reminding
there.
myself. God, it's been so long. I'm reminding myself how things work. Moving my combat tracker because I'm like, how do I do this? How did I do this? Attacking. How does attacking things work?
Well, they stand there and we hit them.
In your dreams. So,
Well, I'm lucky if I hit them usually.
so, first Bullywug throws a spear at Kymir, who is the most direct target.
Hang on.
Actually, let me check my spear.
Can I use my reaction of deflect missiles? Yep. See, spot 'em.
It's going to be at disadvantage because of distance.
Okay. All right. So is it Bullywug 1?
Oh, but it's still a hit. So
Okay.
so Kymir gets hit with a spear. You can use your reaction if you want to. That's a key point.
Yeah. You can use reaction to deflect to catch the missile. When
Is that a key ability or is that just an ability?
Just says it's a reaction. It doesn't say anything about. Oh, it says if you catch a. Fucking hell! If you catch a missile in this way, you can spend a key point to make a ranged attack with the weapon.
Oh, so you can use your reaction in this round, which is cool because you weren't going to get to do anything otherwise.
Okay.
And
I don't actually know how to do that.
wait, do you have to roll to see if you catch it? Let me look at your sheet.
Sorry.
God, it's been so long.
Damage from the attack is reduced by 1d10 plus your dexterity modifier. If you reduce it to 0, you catch it.
That reading was too fast, and I have to read it anyhow.
So basically, monk 3 or 2, so d10 plus 5, and if she reduces it to... Well, you have to roll damage first. If she reduces the damage to 0, she gets to catch it.
So I have to roll a d10 plus 5.
Okay,
Yeah?
let me roll the damage and let's see what you have to beat
All right. Okay.
to be able to catch an attack. I'm not going to roll on you since we might negate this. So 5 damage. So roll a d10.
Oh, if it's 5, she automatically catches it, because it's a d10
Oh,
plus 5.
because her monk level and her dex are automatically 5. Okay,
Yeah.
so you've caught it. You don't take any damage. If you want to use a key point, you can throw it back at him.
Screw it. Why not?
And just use, do you have any ranged weapons?
I have a dart.
All right, so use your attack roll for the dart.
And it's Bullywug 1, yeah?
Bullywug 1, yeah.
Arranging things. That would. Ooh.
Ooh, you totally hit. Oh my gosh. So, in this absolute zen moment, this bullywug leaps out of the mucky swamp, throws a spear at Kymir. Kymir effortlessly catches the spear in one hand, whirls around in a circle, and throws it back at the bullywug, hitting him smack in the chest. And he does 3 damage.
Well,
Actually,
still
that
good.
might be wrong. Do you have a strength modifier?
Hang on.
Strength modifier. More than plus
No.
1. Okay, then we'll leave it at plus 1.
It's fine.
You just straight up David Low-panned that guy.
Yeah, you straight up David Low panned him. All right. So he regrets his actions. Bullywug
Kymir
number
wants to go
4 is the one
Definitely.
straight in front of Kymir.
Oh, come on.
He has noticed this, and I'm going to roll to see if he is absolutely freaked out, if he loses some confidence. Because he might just be too stunned to actually attack after all. And I think that's going to be a wisdom. What do you think it is for what's the word I'm looking for?
Thinking like a
It's a will
morale
save,
kind of
right?
situation.
Morale. It's a will save, right?
I'd
So,
call it
yeah.
a wisdom save, yeah.
Okay, so wisdom save. All right, he rolled an 18. So I say that he manages to hold fast and he still tries to attack. So in this case, he's not throwing his spear, he's within range, so he's going to try to stab you with his spear.
Okay.
He hits. And he does 7 damage. And with
Ouch.
his follow-up attack, he tries to bite you. And as this frog-like creature opens its jaws, you see that rather than just a flicky tongue that you associate with frogs, there is a wide line of very sharp teeth, in addition to a flicky tongue.
Yeah.
But he fails miserably at biting and manages to kind of like trip over his own tongue, bite his own tongue, and he does 1 point of damage to himself. You know, like when you bite the inside of your mouth because you chew funny? Oh, I hate that.
Not from being too funny, though.
Bullywug 6. Bullywug 6 is kind of behind a rock. The only person it could potentially attack is Shaefira. I'm going to say she's behind partial cover. So he's going to be -2 to hit. And he tries to throw a spear at Shaefira. Rolls a 20. Natty 20.
No.
Manages to do 10 damage with that spear throw.
Ouch.
It's a good thing we have a cleric.
Cleric's the only one that can actually be effective at anything.
Bullywug 5 is going to try to attack Kerithlana. Here again, this mound is in the way, so it's going to be a -2 to hit. And I think she can do crazy things as a reaction as well.
Depends how close they are.
Please feel free
Oh,
to
you know what?
direct it for-
That's going to be a miss, but it would have been a miss anyhow because I forgot that it's also a distance enough that it would have been a disadvantage for that throw. So it misses. Miss.
Spear's got a pretty crack, man.
Yeah. Like, Bullywug 6 was like, that's the range. That's like the max non-disadvantage range. Bullywug 2, there are rocks in the way. Bullywug 2 does nothing. And Bullywug 3... Bullywug 3 is going to try to attack Shaefira as well, but also is going to be at disadvantage. And -2 because of partial cover. So the odds of actually hitting her are very slim. And it is a miss. All right, so that is the end of the surpriseness. Top of combat order. You guys know that you're under attack. You know which direction the threat is coming from now. Shaefira, do you?
Do you, Shaefira? Do you indeed? Or just do you?
6.
Or doobie doobie
Yeah.
doo. You.
Mm.
It was 6 that attacked
Um.
Shaefira, wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay. I'm just gonna move a bit closer to the tree, and then take a shot at 6.
So you hit.
Yay!
Doing 8 damage. That bullywug looks bloodied. You see him snarl and bare his teeth, and he gnashes them in pain, or it gnashes them in pain, because I'm not going to make gender assignments if I can help it, because I don't know.
Excellent.
Kerithlana.
Okay. Can I take my bonus action before my main?
Of course.
Certainly, whatever order.
Okie dokie. So bonus is spiritual weapon, which I will cast, and then I will run forward and job Bullywug 4. So that is there. Hang on. Boop.
I can't remember. Do we have a shape for your spiritual weapon?
It was a puffin,
Ooh.
I think.
Yes. And I'm fairly sure you had a
Oh,
token
that's
for
right.
it
It
as
was a
well.
puffin.
Right.
There we
So
go.
You can move your spiritual weapon to where you've conjured it.
okie dokie, 60 foot. I was there. 2, 10, 20, 30. Right, okay. So the spiritual weapon is going to harass this guy. And I'm going to harass Bullywug 4. So if I do me first.
Excellent. So you swing your spectral puffin at the bullywug.
Flip. Okay, so I miss. No,
But the beak falls short.
that was my swing.
Oh, is that your swing of your flail? Okay. Your spiritual weapon gets to attack as well.
Yep.
Your beak falls short.
I can make a melee spell attack. Okay, I'm having a complete brain fart. How do I do that?
If you open the spell description for spiritual weapon, there should be an attack roll for it.
There is too. Thank you. Right. So that guy. Bloop. Wow, we're consistent. I presume they've got the same arm class.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so that is me done.
All right. So there's a little bit of of tripping and flailing as you summon your puffin and you get yourself in gear. Perhaps you were a bit startled, and you know that there is still like an imp behind you. Like, what is that imp doing?
No idea. I am consistently startled though. So.
Yes. So on brand.
Oh yeah.
Kymir.
Well, since number 4 is just there in front of me, I am going to go hand to hand with him. I can do my offhand attack.
Yes, you can.
Fingers crossed. Oh, better.
And you punch him in the face with your offhand.
Whoop whoop.
Fist meets froggy flesh, doing 5 damage.
Fabulous. Do I want to stay there or do I want to try and... No, I'm going to stay there. Oh, as a bonus, Kerithlana told us about the imp, yeah?
Yeah.
She told you about the imp, but you already used your bonus with your offhand attack.
Oh, right, yeah, of course I can. Never mind. Don't matter.
Bullywug number 1 has decided that the fellow with horns is not to be trifled with. So Bullywug number 1 is going to move toward... It's going to try to move towards rocks so that there's going to be like a rock in between him and the horned one. So he's moved there. Bullywug number 4. He's like, oh crap. There's a sea elf here. There's a thing with horn. I have owies. What to do? You see the bullywug kind of look over its froggy shoulders, like he's looking to see if he's looking to see if something's watching him. He seems to be a little bit like he can't just... You get the sense that he doesn't feel free to just disengage. So even though you can see fear in his expression, so he, regardless of not looking like it's a particularly good idea, leans forward with his spear and he tries to stab Kerithlana. But he misses.
He misses.
He misses.
Oh
He's-
no.
He's
You must have
shaking.
scared him badly.
He knows that things don't look very good, but he fears running away more than he fears standing his ground. So in a follow-up, he tries to bite Kerithlana.
Sadness.
But again, misses.
Oh, hang on. He needs to make... He's made his thing, so... Bleh. Oh no, he only takes half of that. So I did Wrath of the Storm as a reaction because he missed.
Okay.
He made a save.
But you still did enough damage to drop him.
Yeah, I rolled too much damage.
But it applied half damage automatically.
Oh, okay, cool. Lovely. Let's check that off as well. Blah.
I think my fantasy grounds might be desync.
Okay. It's been connecting, disconnecting. Now I'm going to blurp Bullywug out. He is dropped.
Cool.
The next Bullywug is currently behind a rock. It's going to run forward or hop forward next to Shaefira
Oh,
and try to
It's
stab
attack it.
her with a spear.
duck!
And it misses!
Yay!
It's going to follow up with a bite. But no,
Yay.
Nibbles, don't catch you. Bullywug 5 is next to your spiritual weapon. It's going to move slightly, and it's going to throw a spear at Kerithlana. That's going to be with disadvantage, though, because of the distance.
Okay, don't.
But it hits! We dropped a natural 20, though, so I guess that's
Yeah.
good.
Mm-hmm.
And it does 4 damage with the sphere. Bullywug 2 is behind a bunch of rocks. So you just see this little body kind of, or it's like a, well, it's fairly decent sized body. These are like froggy people that are like 5-6 feet tall. So you see it kind of hopping, the head bobbing up and down behind the rocks as it moves in a southerly direction. but it doesn't attack. You see another bullywug come out from behind the rock. And it throws a spear at Shaefira, but this is at disadvantage. Just out of range. Ooh, there was a delay there. I think, again, dropped a natural 20. I'm so sad about this disadvantage. But it misses.
Yay.
The imp at this point, you hear this little like, yee! And, Kymir, do a perception check.
Perception. Hang on.
All right, you don't manage to hear anything. So the imp, you see the imp, it flies over and it's kind of hiding behind. It's closer, but it's kind of hiding up in the branches of the tree on the island. Stiiv!
I'm trying to reconnect.
Oh, noes!
It keeps telling me that I can't reconnect because I'm already connected.
Oh, I wonder if I can kick you.
Seems harsh.
Is it worth just taking a 2-minute
Steve,
break?
you
then?
don't have a loaded. Okay, you just disconnected. I guess you timed out. Try again.
Alright, let's try again.
Says Steve connected.
And now I have to download a bunch of files that were already. Yeah.
I hope this improves once we're on Fantasy Grounds Unity. It's supposed to like change the architecture of these game sessions.
Here's hoping.
Fingers crossed.
One of the things I hope that Fantasy Grounds Unity does is it only lets you update the stuff that you actually play, so I don't have to sit there and download Fate Core and Starfinder and all this other stuff that I don't ever use. It's about 60% done with the download. A watched bar never fills.
Oh man, and you disconnected again.
Yeah, 'cause it kicked me back to the launcher because of something. I don't even know what. Fun. Just carry on without me. I'll
Okay, we'll catch
Connect
up
when
with
I
your
connect.
turn when you reconnect.
Oh, like Shaefira just went AFK as well.
Okay, well we'll leap ahead to Kerithlana.
I am back.
I over forwarded. Kerithlana, it's going to be your turn for now. It's your turn, and then if other people are reconnected or back,
She's
they will
about
take
to
their
come back.
turns.
Okay, has Steve been or not been?
He hasn't been, but it's because he's disconnected. So we're just going to have him take his turn when he manages to get in. Hopefully.
Okay, fair enough. Right, so my puffin is going to attack Bullywug 5 again. Boop. Oh, nice.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Whoop, whoop.
Womp womp womp. Puffin in the house.
Eh,
And you do 11 damage to what was that? Bullywug. What number was it for?
5. Do you want me to drag it on there?
It
There we go.
instant deaths that.
Blah.
So your puffin basically lays down a spectral smackage upon the bullywug and squashes it flat.
Cool. Okay. What do we know about bullywugs? Do they cast fireball and things like that?
All of these bullywug guys have just been going at you with spears and teeth.
Okay, I will smoosh next to Bullywug number 6 and I will thump it. Here we go. Right.
You hit.
I do too. Blep.
And you smush it.
Well, I'm like some sort of multilateral killing machine. Awesome.
You're like basically a bullywug annihilator. And you can
Okie
move
dokie.
your what? How far can you move your spectral puffin?
60 foot. Right, okay. I will hassle that guy then.
You have your puffin primed and ready for next round.
Oh, yeah. He's ready to go. And I will move it on.
Okay. Do you want to do Shaefira?
Is Shaefira back?
Yeah.
I am, yes.
Do your thing, Shaefira.
Okay, well, I was, had my dagger ready to kill that one that was right in front of me, and then Kerithlana, but it doesn't matter. No worries.
You can totally run up to that. You could run up to 3 or to 1
Yeah. No,
with your little halfling legs.
Yeah, no. I'll take a shot with my short bow again.
You shoot Bullywug 3 with your bow. Land an arrow, do 7 damage. The bullywug is bloodied, but still standing. See little red tendrils seep into the water of the swamp.
My go.
Has Stiiv had any success?
We're trying. I
Is
went through and closed it, did the whole full update, everything, and now it's claiming it's reconnecting.
Okay, Kymir, go ahead and maybe it'll finish.
Okay. Right, so I move up to Bullywug 3 and pound him, or try to.
You do? Doing 6 damage. Bullywug number 3 is swaying on its feet.
Okay, I will go offhand.
The crimson puddle in the water spreads, grows deeper shade of red. You hit it with your offhand and smush that bullywug. I think I saw Stiiv disconnect again.
Yeah, he's rebooting.
Yeah, he's rebooting. He's having issues.
Oh no.
Okay.
Bullywug number 1 uses this opportunity to throw a spear at Kymir. Misses. So that's Bullywug 1's turn. Bullywug 2 moves forward.
I'm now regretting moving out.
And it throws a spear at Kymir as well.
Really regretting moving out.
This one lands, doing 4 damage.
Oh.
Throw it back.
Do I need to?
If you want to use as a reaction, yeah, you can use a key point to throw it back if you want to.
Well, I'd need to do the thing to catch it though, wouldn't I? First?
Well, you automatically would catch it because he only did 4 damage.
Okay. Yes.
So let me take that 4 damage back.
Okay, so what do I need to throw it back? Or do I need to
Arranged.
throw?
Do a ranged attack on.
Just do it.
Yeah, you use the dart attack roll on
Oh, yeah.
Bullywug
There
too.
we go.
Okay, so you hit him, and I'll roll the damage on him. And remember to mark off your key points. I think you're down
have done.
2 key
Yep.
points now.
I've got 1 left now.
Oh, I take that back. I rolled it on the wrong person. Okay, so that's 5 damage to the Bullywug. So you catch the spear, you throw it back at the bullywug, and it lands him squat in the chest, and that bullywug is croaking. Not a dead croak, but he's clutching his chest, and he looks quite bloody.
Okay.
I feel really bad for Stiiv. So
I
we have to
know, he's
remember,
missing all the
Stiiv
fun.
gets 2 turns if he gets reconnected.
Right.
The imp stays in the tree. Kymir, do another perception check to see if you can notice anything. You do not notice anything regarding the imp.
I am focused on the frogs.
At this point, there are splashes.
Uh-oh. Stiiv! Come back, Stiiv!
And additional bullywugs jump out of the water.
One
You
of
see
them's got
little
a name.
faces peering between the rocks.
Up.
And most notably is one slightly more armored bullywug who leaps up on top of a rock and is standing there now. But they all rolled really poorly on their initiative, so it's still Shaefira's turn.
Okie dokie. I'll just take a shot at at that the bullywug one. I think.
The one next to the
Oh,
puffin.
one next to the puffin. No.
Yes, yeah.
I
That
don't
one
think
is
so.
you would do a minus. That one is slightly covered by the rock,
Oh, I could move out slightly.
so you'd have to move.
I think Kerithlana put a puffin there as prep.
She did put the puffin there as prep. The puffin is going to puff that bullywug.
Shaefira was asking if we'd actually damaged Bullywug 1 yet, but I don't think we have.
The one
No.
has a tiny bit of. I think that's the one that bit its own tongue.
All right.
It has 3 points of damage right now.
Ooh.
I had to dig it back.
So you shot an arrow. You landed an arrow upon that frogly flesh, and you drop it.
Yay! Bloody hell!
Patoing! Croak.
Oh, when it lost all my process. That's just great.
None of your stuff is open.
None of my no.
Do you need the map reshared? Because we could take this time to let you finally have your attacks. I feel like from the silence that things are not going well.
He sounded a bit robotic, as if he's not really connected fully.
At least Stiiv is up, like his picture is back up. Oh crap. He just disconnected again.
Oh,
All right, Kerithlana, go ahead.
okay. Right. The puffin is going to go and attack Arp because he's closest. Nope, that's me. Ah,
Did you attack yourself?
I have no idea what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm apparently targeting myself. Oh, for goodness sake, right. Nope. Is that working? I don't know. Right. So you can attack. Blip.
Dirty 20 on ARP with
Yep.
your spectral puffin.
Yeah, would that hit? Does that work? Oh, it does. Hey. Right. I will
He is a
wonk him
hit.
then. Blah.
So
Okay,
you
so
do
that's him.
a plump 9 damage.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of cool. Right. So the rocks by Bullywug 4, are they swinging in betweenable, or would I have to maneuver around them in order to get to them?
Wait, say that again.
Bullywug 4 is standing behind a pair of rocks from
Right.
where I am. Would I need to go around the rocks to get to it, or can I
Around
maneuver
the
in
rocks.
between?
Yeah.
Okay.
You could shoot an arrow through there. It would be like partial cover, but with a melee attack, a weapon, you would need to go around.
Okay. 10. I will go and lamp Bullywug number 2 then. Bip. I will indeed. Blah!
So you
Do the
squish
sound effect.
that bullywug, croaks its last.
I think Disco suddenly developed a profanity filter. Oh, sorry. There we go.
I think he just. I think he just.
I think he self-filtered. Yes, Kymir.
Can I jump on the rock above? Oh no, that won't work, will it?
You can totally jump on a rock. You would have to make a athletics or acrobatics check just to confirm that you do it.
I don't think I need to. I've got enough speed to move around the
To
rock
run around,
him,
to dodge
so,
around the rock.
Yeah. Or even rock around the rock. Right, so I'm going to hit number 4. Hopefully. Nope, maybe not.
Your main hand, you
offhand.
miss,
Oh my
and your
god.
offhand misses. And
Okay.
you hear Bullywug 4 like kind of like emits this high-pitched chain of ribbits, and you highly suspect that Bullywug is laughing at you.
I go up to him.
You see that Bullywug kind of like stop its laughter, and it looks a little bit confused, and then that Bullywug flutters its eyelashes at you, like what you just said was
Obviously.
a bit inappropriate, but the Bullywug liked it.
Okay, I will take whatever.
Just double checking something. The you see the Bullywug named Arp kind of flex its arms It's kind of like, it seems like it's playing to a crowd, and then it leaps off of the rock. Just double. And then it lets out this song. This croaking song, like it sounds a bit like a dirgy croaking chain of noises. And those of you within 30 feet of him, which is basically everybody but Stiiv, I think. Everybody make a wisdom saving throw. Oh, goody, Stiiv got to make it. Yay! That means after this, Stiiv gets to take his turn.
Yay.
Yay, Stiiv can save me.
He can save the world.
Yay.
Okay, so
Images
Shaefira
are
is
finally loading.
Shaefira is the only person who's saved. So everybody who isn't Shaefira takes psychic damage. 2d8 psychic damage. I'm going to roll it on you guys. So that was Kymir. Kerithlana.
Starting to stagger.
And Stiiv.
Holy crap.
And
Oh, talk about making up for lost time.
so that was his psychic damage. What was the holy crap for?
The amount of damage taken off Stiiv.
Oh, holy crap. He got the biggest roll. That sucked. But you know, when you get to take your turn, Stiiv, you get to make 3 attacks because that's how many rounds have passed.
I think it's still loading things.
Bullywug 4 is going to try to stab Kymir with a spear.
Oh, but
Since he's there.
she liked me.
Okay, well, let me
So
roll
no.
again with disadvantage because she's fighting her heart, or it is fighting its heart, because that's an accurate point.
Okay.
All right, it is a miss
Ooh.
this time. So you have knocked that bullywug off guard with your unintentional flirtation. Bullywug 3, which is blocked currently by my combat tracker. Bullywug 3 kind of runs forward. And tries to throw a spear at Stiiv. It rolls a nat 20. Oh, shit. You know, there's times where you regret your choices. Jesus.
Like reconnecting.
No, you're dying.
God. Okay, so Stiiv is down, and I'm sorry about that. So you're having to reconnect again?
No, I'm connected. Just in time to make all 3 of my death saves.
That sucked. But you know what happens before that? Imp flies down from the tree, lands on Steve's prone form.
Oh, I.
And shag your face.
Kymir,
hugger.
do another perception check. And actually, Shaefira, you can do a perception check too. But Kymir has more potential for percepting things.
Well,
Shaefira notices nothing.
I've got mud in my eyes, so
You're still wondering what the hell that was that just gave you psychic damage. Oh no, that didn't give you psychic damage.
no,
You're like, why is everybody else cringing? Why is Stiiv down? You don't know what happened.
Boys, maybe I just haven't got any brain, so no damage.
What did Kymir roll for perception?
Sorry, I didn't roll. Didn't realise it was me as well. There we go.
Okay, so Kymir finally perceives something, and you hear the little imp muttering in Infernal. And as he's kind of like sitting on top of Steve's prone form, and you hear him say like,
Oh, the unspoken boss will be unhappy if the chosen one perishes.
and so you hear him say stuff like, "Oh,
This is terrible. This is terrible.
and you see the imp kind of is hawking up a loogie, and the spit kind of drops onto Steve's lips,
Oh, gross.
and Steve gets a hit point back and stabilizes. So he's conscious, severely wounded, and prone, but no longer dying. The imp farts and then flies back up into the tree. So there's a bit of a smell.
Oh, God.
All right. Now it's Steve's turn.
Yay!
Can you see
Okay.
anything?
He's flat on his back. He's looking up at the sky. There are these pieces of there are these things over his head that look like tentacles but wood. He smells
Okay.
something that's decidedly eggy in the air. And he feels like a lot of people have been jerks.
Oh yeah.
But you get to make 3 attacks now.
Wait, 3 attacks or 3 turns?
3 turns. Okay. To make up for the rounds that you were disconnected.
To make up for Fantasy Grounds farting out and deleting my entire campaign and making
Yeah.
me updated a rule set that I don't use.
Yeah.
Apparently
catch up.
Core RPG. Yeah, Core RPG got corrupted, so I had to re-download the entire program.
Ew. God, I hope that never happens to
'Cause-
me, because that would just basically be where to stop.
I was if this last one hadn't reconnected, I was about to
Rage quit.
and rage quit. Yeah, I'd have been like, I'm done with it for today. Especially considering what caused the thing is a program I don't even use. Like that's some bullshit. Since I lost everything, can you I'm gonna have to ask you to place Toby onto the map so that I can put him back on my hotbar, so you don't have to do it anymore.
Do you need Toby just the icon?
Just the icon, just the tentacle. Same way you did with the spiritual puff.
There's a little tentacle.
That'll work.
I'm sure you can make it bigger.
Yep. All right. So first things first, turn number 1, bonus action, Grasp of the Deep. Next to Bullywug number 3. It's going to get thumped. And the dice color isn't quite right. Well, maybe not. And follow up Eldritch Blast.
The green smoke hits.
All right. Boom. And that was turn number 1. I'm not going to move at this point in time. Cycle around to turn number 2. Grasp of the Deep.
Ooh, natty 20.
That'll help
That's
make
a
up for it.
deep fondling with your tentacle.
That's Toby going in places he shouldn't really go.
Yes.
That
Toby
was
fondles him quite rudely.
some tentacled prostate exam. Okay. And now he's
So he is off the board.
and move over here to have visual range of ARP and Eldritch Blast ARP.
Your blast hits ARP.
That'll get his attention. End of turn 2. Turn 3, we shall move Toby up to ARP as bonus action.
Slap him around the face.
And yeah, just blah, 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 blah. Toby tripped on something. And I tripped on something too.
Oh no!
Wait, was that the third attack or is that second?
That was the end of the third turn.
Okay. So we are back to the top of the next round.
Also, as a free action, I would like to look at Kerithlana and help.
It burns!
That was very Scooby-Doo.
And it and there's some weird peppermint taste in your mouth.
Ew. Why
Well,
is
not
it
peppermint.
sticky?
No, wait, it's not peppermint. It's spearmint.
Why is it sticky?
Your mouth is too moist.
Oh God.
Shaefira! Why is it not Shafira's turn? Shaefira! You absolutely did not notice anything that the imp did to Steve's face.
Okay.
I would like to point out that Stiiv is totally unaffected by imp fart and doesn't notice anything wrong.
It's the mintiness that's weird.
Yeah, the minty parts. Oh no, it tastes like toothpaste.
Yeah. It's like
You don't
not
know what
nearly.
toothpaste is, do
You don't like that kind of dental hygiene.
No, I just prefer
You just chew on some seaweed every morning. That does you.
There's probably a Gwyneth Paltrow article on that.
From the lab.
Oh,
Okay, back to Shaefira.
yeah. Yeah, I'll take a shot at.
Okay, you're going to shoot at ARP with your short bow.
OMG.
You shoot an arrow at ARP. ARP is shot with an arrow.
It has been quite sharp this evening.
And you do 5 damage. And now there's like an arrow sticking out of ARP's shoulder. ARP now starts to look somewhat bloodied.
Mm.
Apparently, scientists have discovered even be effective in whitening teeth. Not only is seaweed good for your oral health, but it contains a wealth of nutrients that will improve your overall health. Seaweed is rich in iodine, calcium, iron, magnesium.
Yeah. Steve is like, this is no joke. He has the articles to support it. He doesn't understand why everyone doesn't worship the deep.
Seaweeds that stop tooth decay. It's a thing.
Seaweed smile. That's what they call it. Kerithlana.
Yeah, okay. So the puffin is going to peck on ARP. Puffin. Right, that one. Blah! Okay.
Your spectral puffin wiggles its tail feathers with exceptional force.
Totally does. And I guess I'm going to go and give some gentle solace to Monsieur Stiiv.
Did you drag that damage? You did not drag that damage onto ARP. Let me apply it manually.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
ARP is still standing, but yes, you have damaged him.
You are welcome. Okay, and that is me done.
Kymir!
Okay, I'm gonna shrug at Bullywug Fort, who flustered its eyebrows, eyelashes at me earlier, and punch it in the face.
Nice.
So you have critically punched Bullywug 4 and literally cave his froggy face in.
And I think I might have to sit down
And
now and just meditate to
The last
feel, to
moments,
overcome my.
the Bullywug's final moments before it croaks, you see a glimmer of betrayal.
Oh no.
That your relationship has progressed so quickly and in this direction.
Oh, Kymir is going to sit down and cry.
Wait, while I was unconscious, were you flirting with a frog?
Accidentally.
I went to the frog, and the frog fluttered its eyelashes at me, and got quite excited.
Got quite excited and then failed to attack successfully the next round. Because apparently that sound is flirtation of the highest order in the Bullywug language.
That was a froggy mating call. You were like inviting
I know,
breeding,
and I feel so bad.
and then you punched his face.
Yep.
At this juncture, all of you are still within range of ARP. And you hear him let out another dolorous chain of croaking. It's kind of like this Everybody make another wisdom save. This time,
Blimey.
Shaefira is the only one who doesn't save. So Shaefira's previously, she's like, I don't know what's going on. Suddenly she feels this sharp pain in her mind, and simultaneously there's this loud croak inside her head. And she takes 15 damage and drops to the ground.
No.
No.
And then you see Art, his dark green lips spread in a very wide and teethy smile. And you hear the sound of a bugle coming from beyond the rocks. And you hear like flipper floppery splash splash splash, the sound of little web padded feet. And suddenly more bullywugs appear from the swamp.
Oh.
And amongst them, I'm rearranging some stuff because I didn't have it right. Amongst them, most that draws your gaze, except for Shaefira's gaze because she's knocked out, there is a bullywug with a crown riding a giant toad.
So, does that mean it's a frog on a toad?
It is a frog on a toad.
But-
Yes.
So, never mind.
And you see other bullywugs kind of surrounding you. And that is where we're going to leave it for next week.
Okay.
I'm just
we
gonna say
see
there's
three
at
more
least
guys.
there's at least 3 more toads and this other dude on a giant toad. I'll figure out exactly how many toads there are before next week, or bullywugs.
So I need to practice my death saving rolls then.
Mm-hmm. Or prepare yourself for some imp spit.
Ooh, yum.
Well, at least it's minty.
It's
Well,
minty,
somebody could like get my jam out of my backpack.
but
and,
it's
like,
spearmint, which
scoop
is
it.
everybody knows is the worst of the mints.
No, it's the best of the mint.
I was about to
spearmint.
say, spearmint is my favorite.
It's my favourite. Peppermint's a bit too
You can have.
sharp.
I'll have all the peppermint, and you can have all of the spearmint.
Yep, that's fine.
And wintergreen is for everybody. Okay, I'm sorry that was frustrating for your connection issues today, Stiiv. And of course, I completely ruined the surprise of the Bullywug ambush because of my not hiding the name of the map. I'm going
Well,
to put
the
that down
thing-
to it's been 2 months since I've DM'd in this program, so obviously I am rusty.
The only thing I'm regretting right now is that all of my settings put back whenever we came back, and I got hit twice and could have used Hellish Rebuke both times and completely brain farted about it. Because I was sitting here
'Cause you were
trying to get all my
so
settings back.
Discombobulated and
And
distracted.
frustrated.
Frustrated as well, yeah. There's definitely at least 5 more bullywugs and the big dude on his giant toad when you come back.
I was trying to figure out a way to make a frog on a toad in a hole joke, but yeah.
We'll have to do that one later.
But that's for next week's fun.
Yay.
That's a future us problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
Yes.
And sexy Kymir making breeding,
Sexy
Interspecies.
Kymir strikes again.
Oh god, yeah, that was unintentional, but what the hell?
I mean, it's like the whole journey of that romance just happened so quickly. It was like,
I know.
2 rounds and you were done.
and called it a whirlwind
Bad.
romance.
Yeah, that is the definition of a whirlwind romance. It took 12 seconds to go from like, how you doing to like, oh, you're dead.
Well, at least it was a bullywug that was dead and not me for a change.
But poor Shaefira.
There is no
Yes.
excuse for domestic violence.
There is no excuse for domestic violence. Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, thank you guys. It's been a long time,
Thank
but I'm
you.
glad we got to play today.
So am I.
Lots of fun.
Oh, are we playing next week?
We are playing next week, but we aren't playing the week after that.
Yes.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
See you next week then.
Hooray!
Hey.
Bye.
Ta-ta,
Bye.
children.
Bye.
Don't die! Bye, Steve!
Steve.
Remember to
later,
chew
guys.
your seaweed!
Seaweed
Nom, nom, nom,
toothpaste,
nom,
it's
nom.
a thing.